Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 3 of The Realm, the Southlands, Sinister Secret of Saltmarsh. We've got an upstairs to go visit. Let's just see what we have. We've got the potion, the ring. Tessa has the other stuff. Where's my gemstone? Does Griselda have the gemstone? He doesn't. Where is the gemstone? Cyrus? Is it in inventory? Carlo? Where is my gemstone? I might have to load a different game. Load game A. No. Load game D. Okay, there's a gemstone. Cyrus has a gemstone. Okay, good. Whew, I was getting a little worried there. Oh, this descends into the cellar. No, I want to go into the... Okay, they are difficult to pass. These are easy. Stairs creak ominously as you ascend, but they're safe enough. At the top, you reach the gallery, which on the north and west walls of the hall. To the east and the west, the corridor appears to stretch the full width of the house, doors leading off to the south. Opposite the western portion of the gallery is another corridor leading north. So this is where we struggled. The door to this room appears to be locked or held by some means. A detect magic spell would be nice. Another dirty, decaying bedroom without furniture. From the doorway, the floor in here does not look particularly safe. Some floorboards are missing, while others appear to have suffered partial collapse. The floorboards groan beneath your weight and then abruptly splinter. The jagged floorboard tear into your flesh as you fall through, slamming onto the unyielding wood and broken plaster of the ground floor. And everybody dies. Crash into an empty living area. Pulling yourself from the broken plaster, you look about for the exit. Everybody dies sometimes. Alright, there's definitely some wicked stuff going on in these rooms. This bedroom was dirty and decayed. The floorboards appear intact, but rubbish is scattered everywhere and webs are profuse on the walls and ceilings. From the doorway you can see a glint of light in the fireplace from what appears to be a small, highly reflective object. There is no furniture in here. Large spiders drop from the webbing overhead. Wait, where are they? 2 of them. Let's delay your turn. Points of damage. Griselda, finish the job. Why can't I? Oh, my arrows aren't readied. Finish the job, Griselda. Boom, dead spider. Gingy will come forth. Attacks and misses, okay. Aim your darts. 3 damage, nice. Gingy with your halberd kills the large spider. We get 25 XP. The object in the fireplace is simply a fist-sized chunk of crystal. It clearly has no value, though it is superficially attractive. Well, that stinks. A further search of the fireplace and chimney reveals nothing of value and or interest. Okay, so there's a magically hell. The floor groans underfoot and then abruptly gives way. Jagged wood scrapes your flesh as you plummet to the hard wooden floor of the grand hall. Ugh, killing Amanda. Can I at least rest outside? No. Let's see what happens if I go back and get a room. Let's see if this makes a difference. Cure light wounds, cure light wounds. Why can Tessa not memorize spells? Cyrus is invisible with the ring, okay. is in no condition to memorize spells. And Amanda is still dead. Well, can he cast Cure Light Wounds on Amanda? Amanda's fully healed. Fix. There we go. For some reason, Tessa can't memorize her spell. Is that because she's wearing chainmail armor? Well, at least we got what we came for. The way is blocked by a crevice some 7 feet long and spanning the full width of the gallery. Okay, so we have to get the other steps, but let's check out this room. This room appears to be locked or held by some means. Pick. Oh. This is a dirty, decayed bedroom and the floor looks rather unsafe. In the far corner lies a man. He is obviously alive, though bound and gagged. He is clad only in undergarments and appears to have no weapons or equipment. You approach the man, who seems only marginally conscious. Rolling his eyes, he squirms feebly before you, gesturing as much as his bonds allow for you to untie him. Do you free the man? Yes. The bonds come away quickly, and as you untie the man, you see that he sports an ugly red lump on the back of his head. You give the man a cloak which he wraps tightly around himself, and as he rubs his wrist, he then looks up at you uncertainly and speaks. Greetings, travelers. I am Ned Shakestaff, a fellow wanderer from far to the south. You may have heard of Seaton? I left that place to come adventuring. I stopped by this old place for a night's free lodging. I intended to go to Saltmarsh in the morning, for I have heard that there is work for adventurers there. Ned touches the back of his head and winces. I came in through the back door and got no farther than the kitchen before I was attacked from behind, I must assume. I awoke only a few hours ago to find that the ruffians took my possessions before leaving me to rot. You ask Ned about the noises from the house, and he looks at you skeptically. I've heard nothing. I never even saw my attackers. The only thing I have to say that I'm not going mad is this maddening lump on my head. But it certainly seems that I have found the adventure I sought, and with more than a little personal motivation added in as well. I shall accompany you, certainly. Does any of you carry a spare dagger? Do you allow Ned to accompany you? Yes. Ned shakes his head, then groans, looking about for one of your friends to offer him a weapon. He enters into your ranks. Ned Shakestaff. Okay, he's got a dagger. Ooh, he's neutral evil. Well, if he turns on me, then we'll give him a good thrashing. I knew it! I knew it. I shouldn't have done that, so I'm actually going to load game A. I knew that was going to happen because it said it was unsafe. So let's not do that this time. The only thing I'd be worried about is if this guy turns on us. He's got 15 HP, and that could take quite a bit of maneuvering to kill him while other enemies are attacking us. That's all I'm worried about, it because he is neutral evil. And shake staff. Alright, we've got to go back down the stairs. And this was the kitchen. You reach a landing. Another staircase along the east wall climbs to the upper level. This is mostly collapsed. Only the lowest 6 steps are still intact. There is no easy access to the hole in the ceiling to where the staircase used to lead. A heap of rotten timber lies in the northeast corner. The heap of timber at your feet evidently was once the steps leading to the attic of the house. Okay. This room appears to have been used for storage. A large oak chest stands under the window, its lid closed. Elsewhere in the room are 3 wooden chairs, all broken, 2 splintered wooden buckets, and a mildewed sack. Ned turns to the bundle of clothes on the floor, gasping in astonishment. My clothes! Wonderful! Quickly, the rogue goes about donning his own clothing. When finished, he wears a smile of no little satisfaction. The chest opens easily, revealed to be empty. Oh. Chest opens revealed to be empty. The sack lying on the floor contains old, rotted clothing. Way to get my hopes up and dash 'em. A large bedroom, now decaying and dirty. Damp mold covers the portions of the walls and ceiling, and rubbish is strewn liberally round the floor. In the center is a single mattress which has been badly torn, and from which the stuffing protrudes. Under the window is a large wooden chest, the timber split, its lid closed. The mattress contains nothing but what little stuffing is left within it. Trying to keep the mouse out of the way. The chest is not locked and opens easily. Inside is a pile of moldy, ragged clothing, nothing of value, and a bundle of documents, mostly moldy and stained. Everything's moldy and worth no value. The way down the corridor is blocked. Okay. So we can't go down that way. Nothing to see this way. What was once a fine master bedroom now stands dirty and decayed. Some of the floorboards are missing and there's rubbish scattered around. A tall wooden cupboard stands against the wall opposite the fireplace, its door closed. A search of the fireplace reveals nothing of interest. To the west stands the cupboard. Yeah, we're not opening the cupboard. Once perhaps a fine guest bedroom, this is now decayed like the rest of the house. Rubbish is scattered around. There's some evidence of rodent infestation and some webs hang torpid in the corners. A four-poster bed, once a grand piece of furniture, is against the wall opposite the fireplace. Woodwork is worm-ridden, and the curtain which once screened the bed is torn and stained. There is no bed linen, but the carcase of the bed is relatively intact. Once perhaps, yeah. I pressed look here. I was trying to look at that table in front of me. This hearth stands cold and long unused. Only the spiders and rats come here now. You look carefully through the hearth and chimney, but there is nothing of interest to be found. Your careful search turns up nothing of interest in the bed or nightstand. Along the north wall of this area, okay. We're aware. What happens? The steps are indeed missing a few threads, but they appear to be passable with some difficulty. But what of these steps? Let me encamp and save. See what happens. What rogue among your party will attempt to scale the wall to the opening in the attic? Griselda vanishes into the darkened overhead for a moment, then reappears with a rope in hand for you to follow. Slowly you climb up to the attic. A gaping hole in the floor shows where the top of the staircase used to lead before its collapse. There are grimy cobwebs on the walls and ceiling, and the floor is liberally strewn with dust and rubbish. Several holes in the roof allow dim light to enter this large, dirty room, which appears to extend from the back to the front of the house. There are pieces of broken furniture here and there, and rubbish heaps on the floor. There are 2 large sacks in the northwest corner. Otherwise, there appears to be nothing of interest here. 2 large sacks, eh? The sacks contain old clothing and rags. Picking about them, you find nothing of interest. One of these sacks is going to have some... As you approach the southern part of the attic, you can see that it appears to extend over the whole of the front portion of the house. It is a storage room where the bric-a-brac of many years has been left. There are more broken pieces of furniture, a few sacks and piles of old clothes, but in general the room appears to contain nothing of interest. As you see past the table at your side, 4 rusty red creatures dart out of the rafters to the southeast. Sturges. Oh, that's Ned. Alright, so he's gonna target that one. I like that you kill helpless creatures with 1 blow. Oh my gosh, if this stupid thing doesn't stop ringing. Alright, so let's continue here. I'm moving the wrong way. Ned slated. 26, and the creatures held no valuables. Looking into the rafters, you find the nest of the dead creatures lying behind you. Among the twigs and rubbish, you find an old cracked leather purse containing a gold ring. Nice. We'll take the ring. We'll take the ring. Take it, take it, take it, take it, take it. Alright, unfortunately, there's only one way to go now. We've explored the entirety of the house. Merge in the kitchen. Yeah, we know about it. There is one way to go, my friends, and I'm afraid it is this way. The place of the screaming. Camp save A. Let's go. You take your first step towards the cellar and the screaming begins. You hear a woman wailing in the darkness below as if tormented by some terrible fiend. Panic wells in your chest as the screams rise and swell. It is the sound of total agony with the promise of the same for you if you intrude upon the recreation of hell. This was obviously a wine cellar. The place has fallen utterly silent. Wooden bottle racks, mostly broken, line the north and west walls to a height of 6 feet. There appears to be no intact bottles left in the racks, though there are several with broken necks. Broken bottles cover the floor beneath and near the racks. Against the east wall at the foot of the stairs are 2 large metal storage bins which appear to be empty. In the center of the room lies a human corpse clad in plate mail. A long sword lies by the corpse's right hand and a large shield lies across the legs. The party has discovered a secret door to the south. Okay. The bins are not entirely empty. Peering in, you see that a layer of refuse and rubbish lies beneath the webbing and dust. Here lies the corpse of the dead man. He has apparently been dead for several weeks, and the odor of rot is nearly overpowering. You kneel over the body to carefully search it for valuables. The slightest disturbance, however, agitates the rot grubs that have come to infest the corpse. The creatures scurry forth, swarming on you. Thinking quickly, one of your friends brandishes a torch. While it saves the victim's life, the fires of the torch scorch Cyrus's flesh. Cyrus is hit for 6 points of damage. Once again, you kneel over the corpse and study it for valuables. The sword, though old... 1 minute. Alright, we're back. Once again, you kneel over the corpse and study it for valuables. The sword, though old, appears serviceable, as does the shield. The plate mail he wears barely lost its sheen during its time in the cellar. You do see the dead man's coin pouch has previously been cut open and emptied. He has some other minor gear, including a backup dagger and a backpack containing provisions. 57 XP, and we search for valuables. Let's see, plate mail. Who would want the plate mail? I suppose Cyrus could take the plate mail. And the shield. Cyrus is using a morning star, so he could take the long sword. And Amanda could take the backup dagger. We share. Excellent. Alright, so let's put on broken glass crunches underfoot as you turn the corner. Nothing of value remains in this one expansive wine cellar. Yeah. Rodents have made a nest in a small burrow in the east wall. Mounds of garbage and shiny broken glass lie on the floor at your feet. Your search reveals nothing and does not provoke an attack from the denizens of the burrow. Here lies the corpse of the dead man, yeah. Alright, so we found a secret door to the south. But let's view Cyrus. Let's see. Be right back. Okay, let's go ahead and put on the plate mail, which is going to take his armor class to 0. And let's try the longsword. 1d8 plus 4 and a Thaco of 18. Where with the Morning Star, Thaco of 18, 1d6 plus 5. I'd rather 1d8 plus 4. Armor class minus 1, 1d8 plus 4. Yes, Cyrus is very good now. Can Tessa possibly use the Morning Star? Or the pick? 1d6 plus 4, same. Let's get Cyrus to trade the Morning Star to Tessa. Tessa, your hands are full. Oh, you can't use a Morning Star one-handed. Okay, then she's fine. And what's Gingy doing? 1d10 plus 1. But Thaco's a 19. Alright, let's head through the secret door after I encamp and save. The secret door. You have entered a room which is so unlike anything else you have seen in the house that for a moment you pause, someone taken aback. The illumination here is good since several lighted torches are held in shoulder-high brackets along the walls. This was obviously a cellar, but equally obviously it is now used for an entirely different purpose. Your first impression is that it's the living quarters for about 10 people. Your appearance shocks a man sitting at a table engaged in carving a model boat from a hunk of wood. When he sees you, he nearly rolls his chair backwards as he turns and flees toward the south wall. The man stops at the Southlands corner and reaches along the wall for some lever you cannot see from this distance. There is a click and a portion of the wall in the corner swings open. The man turns on his peg leg, light glistening from the hook that waves in place of his left hand, and snarls when he sees that you are upon him. He draws his broadsword and meets you with a shout. Suddenly, Ned Shakestaff raises a dagger at your back. Damage. He took 2 points of damage, but it was worth it. Let's put this smuggler out of his misery. See, this is what I mean about Ned Shakestaff turns on us. Well, we've got bows, brother. One hit point left. He's dead. Party has 111 experience points. You search the area for valuables. 2 gemstones. We'll take the 4 platinum. We'll take the 2 gemstones. Items. Cyrus will take the broadsword. The man wore a leather jerkin. In his pouch you find 3 pieces of gold, over a dozen silvers, and several copper pennies, all lying around a large peridot. He wore a gold earring in his right earlobe. With the man dead, you are free to look around the large, well-lit room. 10 single beds, crude affairs, little more than thin mattresses on boards, stand with heads to the south wall, each with a small wooden locker at its foot. In the center of the flagged floor is a long wooden trestle table on which there is a variety of cheap metal cutlery and earthenware crockery, together with a large jug about half full of light brown liquid. There are a dozen wooden stools around the table. Against the north wall are 2 casks, one larger than the other, and both broached. A metal dipper hangs on the outside rim of the larger cask. Next to the casks is a large wooden bin. Above it, hanging on hooks on the wall, are a large ham, a long string of sausages, and a small side of meat. Next to the bin is what appears to be a crude metal wood-fired stove standing in a fireplace. Above the stove on a shelf are some iron and earthenware cooking utensils, while next to it is a small pile of logs. Near the foot of the stairs are 2 small unbroached casks. Next to them is a bolt of cloth. Wow. Here stands 2 casks. From here you can see that the larger is nearly full of a clear liquid, water, and the smaller one is half full of a light brown liquid, apparently cheap ale. The wooden bin here contains a considerable food supply: black bread, dried beans, flour, dried fruit, animal fats, salt, and a small amount of honey. The secret door that the smuggler opened before dying still hangs somewhat ajar. The lockers along the 10 beds are all unlocked and contain only clothing and personal effects of no value. Do you take the bolt of fine silk cloth? Yes. Do you take the unbroached casks of brandy? Yes. Next to the crude wood-burning stove in this fireplace lies a pile of logs. The stove is cool and unlit. Hanging on hooks are a ham, a string of sausages, and a small side of meat. You see that it is mutton. Okay, we can't get any further with that. The door to your left appears normal, but the one ahead of you has a strong wooden bar across it, carried in brackets on the frame and the door itself. On the door has been written the single word, danger, in the common tongue. This has been inscribed in large letters using chalk. Okay, so we've got some possible exits. And what is this here? A trapdoor leads up from the top of the steps. Do you climb upwards? No. Here stands 2 casks. From here you see the larger is nearly full. Okay. So we're making out like bandits here. We've got all sorts of stuff going on. So... Alright, so... I'm going to save here. We're doing really well. I want to cast Cure Light Wounds. You don't have Cure Light Wounds? Oh no. And we still can't find a place to rest, but we're going to save in Game A. And say thank you for watching. In the next one, we'll head through the door that says danger, the one next to it, in the normal looking door. And we'll also head through the secret passageway. It's getting very interesting. Hope you'll stick with me. See you in the next one. Much love, peace, joy, and light to you. Much love.